Is it? I'm a dork. There's a little strip mall. It's Blockbuster. Yeah. I don't know how this Blockbuster stays open. There's like nobody ever here. Like parking lot is like
people that work here?
Parking lot is like empty. I get my nice Foster's premium ale in here. Nom 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 nom. Yummy. See all these freaking.
I guess they're like floodlights.
I don't know, but it's crazy. All these freaking bugs everywhere. It's like crazy. They're like all. That's crazy. They're like everywhere. They're like all over the car and everything too.
We gotta do it fast. Can you get it? Oh.
Yeah, look at these freaking weird mutant like mimic bugs. They're like everywhere. How's everybody doing? I recently went to Blockbuster and they're having that 5 for $20 Blu-ray deal, which makes the Blu-rays $4 a piece, and I just can't pass that price up. Decided to stop by Blockbuster on a whim, and then afterwards I went and got some sushi, had a beer, and then afterwards we got attacked by some crazy mimic-looking bugs. There's like swarms of them everywhere. I had to like run in the car. It's craziness. And I always hear people say there's no Blockbusters by them. All their Blockbusters closed down. There's a ton of Blockbusters in New Jersey. I think there's like 11 in like a, I don't know, 20-mile radius. Something crazy like that. There's just tons of them around here. So business is booming for Blockbuster in New Jersey. But let's check out the pickups. And here's the bag right here of goodies. I ended up doing 2 of those deals, so I ended up getting 10 Blu-rays for 40 bucks, which I think is a pretty darn good deal, and only 3 of them I have seen. So there's a lot of blind buys. I figured for $4 a Blu-ray, I'll take that risk for the blind buy. So as always, if you've seen these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. Leave me a comment down below, especially the ones that I haven't seen. Let me know what you think of them, and let me know if you think I'll like them as well. So first up is Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill 2. They didn't have the first one there, and I don't have it on Blu-ray. I've heard this looks great on Blu-ray, so I figured why not, $4? Definitely had to pick this one up. Everybody knows Kill Bill. A lot of fun, a lot of action movie. You know, of course, Quentin Tarantino, a lot of people think, you know, these are just great, unique, creative ideas. No. He's borrowed from classics. Some people say it's just stealing, other people say it's an homage. Either way, he produces some great films. And Pulp Fiction is always going to be one of my favorite movies of all time, probably in my top 20. And let me know what your favorite Quentin Tarantino movie is. And next up is Alien vs. Predator, the first one. I personally really enjoy this one. A lot of people hated it. A lot of people seem to like the second one better. It's called Requiem. I hated the second one. For me, the acting in that one was so piss poor and just wasn't anything special. It was just, to me, it was trash. I didn't like that one at all. This one was a lot more fun. They could have done a little bit more with it. It was a little too dark in some scenes, and I would have liked to see a little bit more. But I do like the aspect of being out like in the Antarctic and Alaska, wherever it was that they're at. And of course, you know, I love that kind of scenery and atmosphere. But, you know, it was dark, it was brooding. It was something that, like, the kid in me wanted to see. Alien vs. Predator, come on. Great idea. I would like to see a little bit more with this. I hope they do another one, and maybe they have somebody with a better direction doing it. For me, I really enjoy this one. It's not going to be for everybody. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I enjoyed it, so I picked it up. I hope it'll look decent on Blu-ray. Because I remember DVD, I kept thinking, you know, this could look so much better, and I hope that will be the case for this. Next up is Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, starring Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, Michael Clark Duncan, Amy Adams, and of course Sacha Baron Cohen. Just a great cast in here. Definitely some crazy over-the-top moments in this one. I really love this one. I'm not a huge Will Ferrell fan, and my favorite Will Ferrell movie will always be Stranger Than Fiction, which is one of my favorite all-time comedy movies. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's a dark comedy, very different from what Will Ferrell normally does. Very different from his like slapstick kind of stuff that he does. But Stranger Than Fiction, a great comedy movie, one of my all-time favorites. Go check out Stranger Than Fiction if you're into dark comedies. But this one is just one of those crazy out there fun ones. There's so many great quotable lines and so many different scenes that are just hilarious. When he gets in the car with like the cougar or whatever it was, like a mountain lion. I can't remember what it was, but it's just so funny. So many funny scenes in this one. Had to pick this one up. Very cool. And this is the unrated and uncut edition as well. And next up are all ones that I haven't seen before. And then next up is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. This is the Level Up Collector's Edition. And I already picked this one up previously from Blockbuster. This one I just got for trade. So if anybody's interested, definitely let me know. Leave me a comment down below. Right there. And of course, you can take this out and you can put it in a regular Blu-ray case. These are very easy to replace the Blockbuster cases. I still have to watch this. I just haven't gotten around to it, but I plan to watch it soon. I've heard so many great things about this movie. So many people were saying it was the best movie of the year or one of the best movies of the year. But honestly, the trailer just didn't appeal to me, and I'm not a big Michael Cera fan at all. He plays the same role in every movie. And his delivery is so odd to me. I've never heard anybody talk like that, and it really irks me. And I've lived all over. I've lived in Germany, I've lived in Mexico, I've lived all over the US, and I've never heard anybody speak like that. I don't know, it's a weird thing to me. I've never heard anybody talk like that, but whatever. But I'm hoping this movie will be decent, especially since I've heard so many great things about it. If you've seen it, let me know what you think of it. And better yet, let me know if you think I'll like it. And next up are The Kids Are Alright, which was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. I don't believe it won any of the awards, but still, very renowned movie, and I'm happy to finally pick this up so I can check it out. Great cast: Annette Bening, Julianne Moore, Mark Ruffalo. And of course, Mark Ruffalo and Julianne Moore were also in Blindness together as well, which is a movie that I think had a great concept, but it could have been done better. There's certain things that could have been more subtle. I felt like there's a lot of dialogue that was unnecessary throughout the movie. Sometimes you can say more with a look than you can with a long, drawn-out diatribe. And I really like Danny Glover. I like a lot of the actors that are in this one, Julianne Moore, and some of the other actors in there as well. I'm not a huge Mark Ruffalo fan, but Danny Glover, I really enjoy him. But there's a scene where he was explaining how it all happened, the blindness epidemic. It seemed like he was just reading off of a script. It didn't feel natural. The delivery was just very deliberate. It wasn't like he was recalling something. It just felt very forced. But there's so many scenes in that movie I just felt like, oh, really? I was almost laughing in some of the scenes that were just so ridiculous, like when a couple of the blind people were fighting, and I don't know, just some of the scenes were just so ridiculous in that movie. I like the concept of morality and what people would do in certain situations, and I like that they didn't explain certain things. I appreciated that, but there's other things that, I don't know. That movie could have been so much better. But anyways, I digress. So this is a teaming up of Mark Ruffalo and Julianne Moore again, and The Kids Are Alright, and basically it's about a non-traditional family. Annette Bening and Julianne Moore are a couple, and they have children that were conceived from artificial insemination, and the children end up finding the father, who's Mark Ruffalo, and they all get together, and it looks very interesting, I'll have to say. I've heard lots of great things about it, so can't wait to check this one out. And next up, How to Train Your Dragon. I haven't seen it. I've heard lots of great things about it. For $4, I figured why not, I'll give it a chance. I've heard the animation in this was really good. I just heard this was a fun movie. Like I said, heard lots of great things, so looking forward to checking this one out as well. Next up, I picked this one up just for date purposes. I've heard a lot of girls talk about how it's so good, and I probably won't really enjoy it, but I figure if I have a date over, you pop this one on, they'll get into it, So, for the date movie. And who knows, maybe I'll like it. There's some romantic comedy movies that I enjoy. Like, I'll have to fully admit, Bridget Jones's Diary, I liked that one. I thought that was fun. I thought the second one was garbage, but the first one, I thought it was enjoyable. Although I'm not a fan of Renee Zellweger very much, but I enjoyed the movie. So maybe this one will be kind of like that, who knows. Julia Roberts, Javier Bardem, and James Franco are in this one. I'm starting to be really annoyed by James Franco personally. Like the Oscars, he was horrendous in that, worst host ever for the Oscars. And then Rise of the Planet of the Apes, I really enjoyed the movie, but I thought that was the worst performance I've ever seen by James Franco, and that movie would have really benefited from a better lead. Or better lead performance anyways. Caesar was the best character in the whole movie. I like John Lithgow as well, but Caesar, you really cared about Caesar. But James Franco, terrible performance in Rise from the Planet of the Apes, in my opinion. I've heard so many people talk about the movie, but I've never heard anybody touch on that. Andy Serkis further cemented his legend in the motion capture field. Andy Serkis, of course, done so many great things, from Gollum to King Kong, and now as Caesar. He will definitely have a great legacy in film. But anyways, hopefully this will be decent. Next up is a Wes Anderson movie, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, and so far everything that Wes Anderson has done has been on the Criterion Collection, so who knows, maybe this will be one of the first kind of like animated movies on Criterion as far as DVD and Blu-ray. I know back in the day they had Akira on Laserdisc, which I think was the only one ever, an animation type movie. This is a different type of animation, kind of like the stop motion claymation kind of looking thing. The creatures on there. I think Grave of the Fireflies should be the first animated movie on modern Criterion Collection, as in DVD or Blu-rays, since Akira was already out on Laserdisc. Grave of the Fireflies would be my choice for the first animated film on modern Criterion. Let me know what you guys think the first animated movie on Criterion should be for DVD and Blu-ray. Wes Anderson is quirky. I kind of like his stuff. For me, it's hit or miss. I love some of his movies, and then other ones I don't like at all. Darjeeling Limited and Royal Tenenbaums and Rushmore I loved. Bottle Rocket was to me, and Life Aquatic I really didn't like. I know a lot of people love that one, but that's my least favorite of his. Haven't seen this one, looking forward to it. Again, Wes Anderson, very quirky. Let me know what your guys' favorite Wes Anderson movie is. For me, it would be a really close tie between Darjeeling Limited and Royal Tenenbaums. And next up is Date Night with Steve Carell, Tina Fey, Mark Wahlberg, Mila Kunis, James Franco, and Common, the rapper who I always liked Common. I thought he's a decent actor, and I enjoy his music as well. He's rap R&B kind of thing going on. This movie looked funny. I haven't seen it. I haven't really heard too much about it. If you've seen it, let me know what you think of it. Of course, let me know about all these movies. I really enjoy Mark Wahlberg, though, as an actor. And he looked funny in this from the trailers that I remember on here. And I really enjoy Steve Carell. I think he's a great comedic actor. 40-year-old version of one of my favorite comedy movies ever. And of course, on the American version of The Office. Love that show. Sadly, Steve Carell left The Office now, but he's going on and doing a lot of movies lately. Looks like a fun time, and I'm hoping it will be. And next up is Get Him to the Greek, starring P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever he's going by now, P. Dizzle, and Jonah Hill and Russell Brand. And I'm not a big Russell Brand fan at all. I know maybe he's big over in the UK, but I just don't like him in the movies that I've seen him in over here. I didn't care for Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I haven't seen the Arthur remake, but that didn't really intrigue me. I like the old Arthur back in the day with Dudley Moore. I really enjoyed those. I think Liza Minnelli was in there as well in the 80s. Good times. But I'm just not a big fan of Russell Brand. I don't know, maybe he'll be better in this one. I've heard good things about this, and I figure, you know, why not? $4, give it a chance. Jonah Hill. I like Jonah Hill. So there you go. Those are my 10 pickups right there. Let me know what you guys think of them. Leave me a comment down below. I hope everybody's doing well. Take care. Blockbuster.